Thank you for joining us on This Is Exclusive. It's 7 p.m., ladies and gentlemen, and our entire focus has been on the 10/11 conspiracy. And this morning we had the biggest headline so far. For the first time, the terrorist Umar Nabi on camera, sometime before he pulled the trigger at the Red Fort, but sometime before he blew up the Hyundai i20, shot a video, and we have that entire video. It's a video meant to radicalize the youth. We have that video and we are not showing it. We don't want to play the video in its entirety. We don't want to give him a platform, but we will show you what he tried to do in that video in full detail. Here are the headlines on This Is Exclusive. It's a big win for India. Wanted gangster Anmol Bishnoi's extradition process completed in the US, soon to be dragged back. Terrorist Umar Nabi's confession video out for the first time, seen radicalizing, brainwashing youth just before the attack. Terrorist Shaheen, her partner Muzammil, both terror doctors, seen in a car showroom buying a car which was going to be used to carry explosives. Another CCTV video of suicide bomber Umar surfaces. The terrorist, the video shows him entering the Faiz-e-Ilahi Mosque in Delhi before the blast. Inside details of terrorist Shaheen's Mission Kafir, how she targeted Muslim women to radicalize them, create women human bombs. Congress begins a Save Radicals campaign, begins giving defense for terrorists and terror suspects, openly justifies, makes a case for how highly educated professionals, they say, are turning into terrorists, and they even want an investigation into it. Ladies and gentlemen, Republic TV this morning accessed the video in which this terrorist called Umar Nabi, and this is a frame from that video, in which he's admitting, talking about suicide bombing, giving a justification for suicide bombing. It's basically a propaganda video that was shot by Umar Nabi. He was trying his best to shoot a video in which he's sounding confident, but he's shaky throughout that entire video. And we do not want to give him a platform. He's trying to use a fake accent. Obviously, the entire Jaish Doctor terror module tried to lure, look at this. He's inside a room. We'll break this video down for you. He's inside a room, and behind him you can see a wall, and there is a black shirt hung and a cupboard. It's a metal cupboard. Let's break it down frame by frame. He's sitting inside a room, which is clear in this video. It's the first time that you're seeing him sitting, recording a video. So he's recording the video. Let's play. Let's continue to play this, please. You can see this setting. He's kept his phone in front of him on a table, and there is a metal cupboard that you can see behind him. Typical setting inside a student dormitory or a room inside a campus, for example. Could be inside the Al-Falah campus, but we are not sure of the location of this particular video where it was shot. But what you can see, there is a metal cupboard behind him. Was it inside the Al-Falah campus? We don't know. Did he shoot it inside the Al-Falah campus? We are not sure. But let's show you what else can be seen in the video. In this video, you can see that there's a black shirt seen hung to a wall. Is it the same black shirt that he wore on the day of the attack? Because you can see in that Hyundai i20 car, when he's driving, he's wearing a black shirt. Is it the same black shirt that he used while carrying out the attack on the day of the bombing? We are not sure, but it raises questions. Was it a video shot on the day of the bombing? We are not sure, because he was not at the Al-Falah campus. He was perhaps in Nu. Let's continue playing it. And you can see in the background, there is a table. But interestingly, there are no books seen on that table, but it appears to be some kind of a material here. seems like wires or something that was jutting out of the table. The table is seen in the background clearly. He's kept some material there. He's wearing a black t-shirt in this particular video. It's an 80-second video. Let's show you what else is in this terrorist propaganda video. Let's continue playing it. It says he's wearing a black t-shirt. This is Umar Nabi seen for the first time in a video he's tried to record. And as we continue, what you can also see is in this particular video, behind this cupboard, there is a crevice. A crevice is seen, and the video appears to be shot inside a room. This is for the first time. Maybe he was trying to shoot a video before the attack. Maybe, because he's completely failed. This terrorist tried his best to speak. He couldn't speak a straight sentence without making any mistakes. And he keeps looking up and down. He keeps looking at the ceiling sometimes. He keeps looking to the right and left. He's seen struggling to frame a sentence. We've heard this entire video. He's seen struggling to frame a sentence. This is Umar Nabi. He's nervously looking left and right. He's looking up, and he fails to phrase a single sentence completely. This is Umar Nabi, the terrorist, who blew himself up outside the Red Fort. Let's show you what else is in this video. He uses a fake accent to try and sound philosophical on carrying out a suicide terror attack. And then towards the end, he realizes he can't draft a sentence completely. And at that point, he moves the camera. Just keep watching this video. It's a real-time video. I'm not playing the audio. Don't want to give him a platform. He looks at the ceiling towards the end. He's just looking at the ceiling. And then at some point, he moves the camera. Look at that. Looks at the ceiling towards the end of the video. And as the video continues, he's realized that he can't shoot a video also at this particular point. And then he moves the camera. Keep watching it. Keep watching it. Let's keep playing this video. And then towards the end, he's unable to do what he was trying to do. And then he pans the camera to what appears to be a door. This is a door. This is the handle of the door. And then the camera pans to a half-open door and a window. The window is half open. There's a curtain there, and there's a door. This is the video, ladies and gentlemen, that was put out by this terrorist. Found out, this was dug out by our investigators, reportedly shared by Umar Nabi in some of the Telegram groups. We are not sure where exactly it was shared, but it was a failure of an attempt that he tried to radicalize youth. He was trying to target educated youth by using that fake accent. And this is the kind of attempt that some political parties are trying to defend. But let's move on and get you the other breaking news update that we have. I have a big breaking news coming in on the raids at Al-Falah campus, perhaps where this was conducted. We're getting in some more details of the raids that are being conducted at the Al-Falah campus. Shavan Sen, my colleague, has been able to pick up more details. 30 lakh rupees recovered from the residence of one trustee. This is an ongoing raid through the day. Raids have been held at the Al-Falah office in Okla, at the Al-Falah campus in Faridabad. Trustee in whose house 30 lakh rupees was found was unable to explain the source of the funding. And the group entities of Al-Falah are suspected to be shell entities. This is a big breaking news update. Group entities of Al-Falah are suspected to be shell firms, shell entities, and their funding is come under scanner. And when Al-Falah was being set up, more than a dozen FIRs were registered. The trustee is accused of cheating and misappropriation of funds, and over a period of time, FIRs were settled. Who settled these FIRs? We need to check. But the big breaking news update, 30 lakh rupees. 30 lakh rupees have been recovered from a raid at one of the trustees of Al-Falah, and Shavan Sen is joining me with the details. Shavan.
Well, in fact, we do have a confirmation from a top source within the Enforcement Directorate that the searches, which basically began around 5 o'clock this morning, around 25 locations where these searches were being carried out across Delhi and Faridabad. In fact, the searches are still going on as we speak. But they have been able to perhaps get some more details from the investigation that has been carried out since morning. We do have a confirmation that about 30 lakh rupees have been seized so far. In fact, it is from the residence of a trustee who hasn't been able to explain the source of the funds, and that is the reason why they suspect that this could be part of the suspicious transactions that have essentially taken place. Now, it's important to basically highlight this as to how exactly Al Falah University came into effect in the first place. It was back in 2000 when this Al Falah Institute or Al Falah University was established, and the founders happened to be Javed Siddiqui, a man who has already been booked in the past and has been behind bars. What I've also been able to pick up from my sources is that multiple FIRs, at least over 10 FIRs, have already been registered in the past against the trustees of Al Falah. And in fact, when they had initially started, there were group entities of Al Falah University, which it turns out to be shell entities. The second is with regards to funding that was actually coming in from abroad. Now that the Enforcement Directorate is essentially indicating that it would be premature to really comment on it, because given the fact that the investigation is still underway. Having said that, it's important to point out here is that currently a large amount of the money is essentially coming in from students, but there has also been massive diversion of funds that have taken place, particularly linked to the group entities, which the Enforcement Directorate suspects happen to be shell entities.
Okay, thank you for joining us with those details. 30 lakh rupees from the residence of one of the trustees of Al Falah. Breaking news coming in. Raids continued at Okla. But ladies and gentlemen, our next breaking news update is on this terror doctor who went by the name Madam Surgeon. She was called Madam Surgeon, and Madam Surgeon, the terror doctor Madam Surgeon, was on Mission Kafir. We're giving you the details of what she tried to do. She and her partner Muzammil. She and her partner Muzammil, look at that. That's Shaheen, that's Muzammil. Both of them were partners in a relationship, and they were partners of the white-collar terror module. And seen in this particular picture, you can see that this is the car with the temporary registration. This is a Suzuki Brezza car, one of the cars that were being searched for in the aftermath of the blast. One of the first pictures, in fact, that investigators found was of a Brezza. That's when the hunt began, and that car eventually was found inside the Al Falah campus. And in this particular picture, they're carrying a box of sweets. This is the box of sweets. Immediately after the car was purchased, they are seen purchasing the Brezza car. Let's go to the next point. And this is reportedly in September 2025. Here's what we know about Shaheen, Terror Dr. Shaheen, Terror Dr. Muzammil, both partners, and they were the faces of the Jaish module. Faces of the Jaish white-collar module. Here's what we know about this car.
As revelations about the Terror Doctor module surface one after the other, this silver Brezza car is back in focus. On your screens, the picture of terrorists Shaheen and Muzammil Shakil buying the car in what looks like a showroom. Watch closely. What you'll see is the silver Brezza with the temporary registration number. In front of the car are the faces of terror Shaheen and Muzammil, with what looks like a box of sweets, receiving the keys and documents of the car. It is this same Maruti Brezza that investigators were hunting for, and was later found at the Al Falah campus after the attack with a rifle in it. The car is reportedly one of the 32 acquired by the Terror Doctor module for their planned serial IED blasts. Sources say that the Brezza was brought as part of an all-cash deal on the 25th of September. As the Enforcement Directorate raids the Al Falah campus, questions about the supply of cash to these terrorists deepen. An all-cash deal for the car raises suspicions about Shaheen's funding. Where did the money come from? Was she getting local support? Or worse, support from someone inside Al Falah?
Getting new visuals also of the CCTV footage of Umar, the terrorist. The car bomber Umar was spotted on the day of the bombing, and this was in Delhi at the Faiza Elahi Mosque. He was found there, and this particular video on your screen right now is of the car on the 10th of November, on the day of the bombing at 4:30 p.m. At 4:30 p.m. he was seen at the Faiz-e-Ilahi Mosque, and this is the car, the white car that is seen, and he's caught at this particular location at least 2 or 3 times. There is a snapshot of him walking away from the mosque, and there is a video of him walking away from the mosque and looking back. And this is the third video that we have accessed, which establishes that he was hiding in a mosque. And look at the time. The timing is on your screen. It's 4:35, about 2 hours, 15 minutes before the blast. He was there for a couple of hours, and then he leaves the mosque, and then he went to Red Fort and triggered the blast. This is, for the first time, him in a white Hyundai i20 that was camped at the Faiz-e-Ilahi Mosque before the blast, and he spent a considerable amount of time inside. This is another CCTV footage that has come out now. Last evening on the show, we put out 38 CCTV images of this terrorist, Umar Nabi, the terrorist who carried out the bombing outside the Red Fort. He's caught on CCTV at every location in Delhi, and this is the latest video that somehow slipped out, and we were able to access it today. And this is another story. Let's play out the story and get you the other reports of Shaheen and what she has been telling investigators. And meanwhile, some more WhatsApp chats have also been accessed in the next breaking news update that is coming in. WhatsApp chats have been recovered from the phone of Shaheen, the terror doctor. Let's get you the details of that as well. She was planning to radicalize women. If we can give our viewers the full story, we have the WhatsApp chats and the details of what she was planning. She was supposed to be heading the Jaish women's wing in India, and she was on a mission called Mission Kafir. That's what investigators say it was called. We have the details of that. Here's a report. Codenamed Operation Kafir to create human bombers. Her idea was to recruit more women bombers, women terrorists into the Jaish women's module. She called it Mission Kafir. Let's continue with the pointers, please. And she recruited vulnerable. The idea was to target vulnerable, divorced Muslim women is what investigators believe. And she targeted 14 to 18-year-old Muslim girls, used to brainwash them, radicalize them, and use them for terror activity. Shaheen led the screening process, the radicalization process for this Jaish white-collar jihadi module. And that is why she called it Mission Kafir. Procured explosives for vests and belts and set delivery timelines for the entire Jaish terror module. Ideological modules then turned recruits into attackers. So it was done in a very close coordination with the other members of the module. You just saw her with Muzammil, her partner, and we have full details of what she had planned. And let's go across to the next angle, please. The next angle is on Jasir. Jasir, alias Danish, is one of our focus subjects today. Another character who's been arrested, terror suspect, aide of Umar Nabi, the terrorist, and a special NIA court at the Delhi's Patiala House Court has sent him to 10 days of custody. Now, what did Jasir do? Jasir alias Danish do? What was his plan? He's been sent to 10 days of custody to be interrogated, and investigators believe that he was closely working with Umar. We've got his picture for the first time. His role was to provide tech support for the strike. What kind of tech support? He was giving tech support. Let's keep continuing with the pointers. He was creating the drone bombs. He was modifying drones. He was equipping drones with batteries and cameras to be used. And he was integrating small explosive devices. He was making the rockets for coordinated blasts that were to take place. The plan was to fly drones over crowded areas like Chandni Chowk, like Red Fort, and to carry out a targeted blast using these drones. The plan was to carry out Hamas-style attacks via air and land. Here are the pictures of Jasir, face covered with a black cloth, taken to the NIA court today, sent to 10 days of custody.
बम ब्लास्ट हुआ है।
A bomb-laden Hyundai i20, a red Ford EcoSport, a silver Brezza, and now modified drones were to be used as weapons. Every single day, a new face in the white-collar terror module case is coming to light. In today's investigation, a new face, Jasir Bilal Wani aka Danish, comes into limelight. The second key conspirator arrested from Kashmir by the NIA, terrorist Jasir alias Danish, was the technology mastermind in the jihadi module. Here is what we know about Jasir aka Danish. He is a key suspect in the Delhi car blast case, also an active co-conspirator who worked closely with Umar. Jasir provided technical support for terror attacks, including modifying drones and attempting to make rockets. He modified drones, equipped them with batteries and cameras, and attempted to integrate small explosive devices. Jasir also tried developing rockets for coordinated blasts. Currently under a 10-day NIA custody, Jasir is making huge revelations. A major attack in India using drones and small rockets on the lines of Hamas. The plan was to fly the drones over crowded areas and security locations and carry out a targeted strike. Their attempt to copy Hamas and other terror groups which unleashed such deadly drone attacks in areas like Syria, Gaza, and Afghanistan.
Big breakthrough in the Red Fort blast case. The NIA had yesterday arrested one of the key conspirators of this entire conspiracy named Jasir Bilal Wani, also known as Danish. And today, the Patiala House NIA court has sent him on a 10-day custody. According to NIA, Jasir or Danish was one of the main conspirators. He was a technical backbone of the entire terror doctor module, where he attempted to modify drones and even attempted to make rockets ahead of the attack that killed more than 12 people and injured several others. Currently, the investigation is going on and he's also being interrogated so that the entire module is uncovered.
The Delhi car blast case takes a significant turn with the arrest of Jasir Bilal Wani, revealing a sinister plot to unleash terror through drone attacks, but was foiled due to swift actions of our security agencies.
And when you look at every aspect of this plot, ladies and gentlemen, a conspiracy that was hatched for years together, and they tried to use educated professionals, white-collar jihadis, white-collar terrorists. And look at the kind of statements that are being made by some of the apologists. Today, we've had back-to-back reactions from the apologists. His name is Imran Masood. Imran Masood is a Congress MP. Imran Masood says that these people, he uses the terms misguided. He says they are misguided people. Would you call a terrorist misguided people? Let's look at some of the other comments that have been coming in today. Second, his name is Ghulam Ahmad Mir, Congress leader from Kashmir. And Congress leader from Kashmir, Mr. Mir, says highly qualified persons are getting involved. He even says earlier low qualified or people with lesser education were getting into terrorists, and now he's giving this argument about highly qualified professionals getting into picking up arms. And why is that happening? He wants an investigation. Look at the kind of comments that are being made. The apologist for terror. His name is Hussain Dalwai, and he tries to question the attack itself. He says incidents are happening. First of all, he calls it an incident, not an attack. He says incidents are happening when elections are around the corner. And he has made this comment again today for a third successive day. And let's look at some of the comments that have been made. In fact, we have confronted him. But before that, I wanted to point out some of the comments of the apologists. You need to name them and call them out. Mehbooba Mufti, one of the comments she made yesterday, saying troubles of Kashmir. Her words were, troubles of Kashmir are being echoed in front of Red Fort, directly making a case for the terror attack. How is Kashmir issue playing out at the Red Fort? Farooq Abdullah, once again saying what happened to these doctors that they chose this path, trying to give an ideological justification for terrorists. And finally, one more comment that was made in the last few days, P. Chidambaram, former Union Home Minister, and should be questioned, asking what circumstances turned educated persons into terrorists. And these are the comments that are being made by the terror apologists. In fact, we have confronted on This Is Exclusive one of the terror apologists who made this comment, Hussein Dalwai, who questioned the incident itself. He called it an incident, saying it's happened before an election. Here's that confrontation.
सर, बड़ा आरोप आपके तरफ से कि
यानी आप लोग इतना वो सरकार की ये कर,
आप इतना बड़ा आरोप कर रहे हैं, आप हमारे देश के ऊपर हमला हुआ है, आप डिफेंड कर रहे हैं क्या आतंकवाद को?
हाँ,
आतंकवाद को डिफेंड कर रहे हैं।
कौन कौन डिफेंड कर रहा है? कौन ये बोल रहा है?
देश के ऊपर इतना बड़ा हमला
कभी नहीं डिफेंड किया। अब मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ कि ये हिंसा करना बिल्कुल गलत बात है। ये गांधी जी का देश है, इस देश में ये चलता नहीं। हिंसा से किसका सवाल मिटता नहीं।
आरएसएस के ऊपर उंगली उठा रहे हैं, ये आतंकवाद को जस्टिफाई नहीं हुआ
क्या?
आतंकवाद को जस्टिफाई नहीं हुआ?
बिल्कुल नहीं। मैं आतंकवाद को कभी भी ये नहीं किया, मेरा साफ सुथरा ये है। आप जानबूझ के इस तरह से
इलेक्शन और हमले के
आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू टॉक टू यू people,
Sir,
right people.
I am just asking questions.
I am not, I have not at all supported any.
I am just asking questions, sir.
मैं बिल्कुल
behalf of Indian.
बिल्कुल मैं आतंकवाद को सपोर्ट करता नहीं।
इलेक्शन और हमला दोनों एक साथ है, आप बोल रहे हैं।
मैं आतंकवाद के खिलाफ रहता हूँ।
तो आप बोल रहे हैं हमला और इलेक्शन एक साथ होता है, क्या प्रमाण है आपके?
ऐसा लोगों को कहना है कि जब इलेक्शन आता है हम ये हमला होता है, ये सही बात है। 26 ये सरकार आने के बाद 26 जगह गड़बड़ी हो गई है, ये क्या हो गया है देखिए।
That's Hussein Dalwai running away when asked the question why he made that comment linking the elections to the terror attacks, running away towards the end. Ladies and gentlemen, Republic is calling on nationalists as part of the Nationalist Collective to participate and tell us what you think. Calling on nationalists to come forward, voice their opinions against terror, injustice, campaign with the motto of heart, state, heart, truth, urging all Nationalist Collective members to send videos, texts on WhatsApp, and share your thoughts and perspectives on the debate with Arnab Goswami. Now, the message emphasizes the need for collective nationalist responses, encouraging people to speak up without mincing any words on the show tonight. It's a call to action, seeking to unite like-minded individuals who stand against terror and advocate for a strong stance. Send us your video. The message on the number on your screen, 73044-34381. 73044-34381, and strike your point with clarity. In fact, some of you can even be a part of Arnab's debate. You can join live at 8 p.m. So on that note, we'll leave you, ladies and gentlemen, with the biggest exclusives of the day on This Is Exclusive. Thanks for watching.